Kathy.
Jared, Houston, Texas.
Was that somebody else? Did I miss the first name?
It was Jackie.
Welcome, Jackie.
Right,
Jackie and
thank
Kathy
you.
sound pretty similar.
Pretty
Jared,
similar,
Houston,
yeah.
Texas.
Hey, Chris, Don LaPlume from New Hampshire.
Welcome, Don.
Thank you, Chris.
Rita from the DMV. Welcome.
Tim Neal, Puerto Rico.
Welcome, Tim.
Roy, St. Louis.
Leroy, welcome.
Dr.
Laura,
Felicia
South Carolina.
South Carolina's in the building. Who else do we have join?
Dr. Felicia from Arkansas.
Welcome, Dr. Felicia. Welcome,
Jabari,
Kendra. Jabari, welcome.
Yes, sir.
Manhattan Beach, California. Roxy here.
Welcome, Roxy.
Jose, South Florida.
Welcome, Jose. We got those. Okay. Got some more people joining. We'll get started here in a couple minutes. We're only 2 after the hour. Everybody likes to trickle in at 6:04. Also, if you see someone missing from your team, make sure to call them and text them. Tell them to jump on. Veronica and Roberto, welcome. Rancho Cucamonga, Ricky from IE, welcome. Who else do we have joining? I saw some people just
from
join.
North Carolina.
Who do we have from North Carolina?
Rachel.
Rachel, welcome.
Thank you.
Kathy,
Rachel, don't be rude.
State of Georgia.
Did you ever get that joke, Rachel? Rachel, don't be rude.
Yes, I get it all the time still.
All right, we got Jenny from LA. Who else do we have? Saw somebody else join from the OC. Kathy, welcome. Kathy
Thank
from
you,
Georgia.
Good, Nilla. Put a call now.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, what do we think? Is our
Chris,
host
give
or our
me
speaker
2
on?
minutes. We'll get started in 2 minutes, brother.
All right, 60 seconds. I got you. I cut you in half. I'll give you 60 seconds. That means you have time to get your teammates on. If you just joined, tell us who you are and where you are.
Mike Sullivan, Boston.
Welcome, Mike.
Erica Cheek, Hampton, Georgia.
Georgia. Was that Erica? Did I hear Erica from Georgia?
That is correct.
Erica, welcome. Long time no see, Erica.
Kendrick Philpart, Jacksonville, Florida.
Welcome, Kendrick. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We got a couple more people joining. All right, let's see. Welcome.
Okay, Henry, are we ready?
The question is, are you ready, sir?
Man, I was born ready, my friend. Let's get it.
That's the answer. All right. Well,
Yes, sir.
Ladies and gents, boys and girls, every Monday we have our Millionaire Mentor call. Some will call it the greatest show on earth, depending on who's speaking. I always say it's the greatest show on earth. I want you to make sure you have a pen and pencil, notes taken, because on these calls, this is where your mindset is set. If you are starting off the week bad, if you had a bad Monday morning, a bad Monday evening, you're not going to have a bad Monday night. So pay attention. The person that is speaking tonight is a president of a company. He retired his mom before he was age of 30. He made his first million before that as well. He left his last company at the top of his game. Not too many people leave their companies at the top. He started this company because he said the last company didn't do it the right way, and he wanted to do it the right way. And guess what? We are doing it the right way. So pay attention, open your ears, open your eyes, make sure you got a vision, because it's coming right at you with BYLD Network. We have so many opportunities. We have the BYLD Academy, trading. If you don't know what we're doing in trading, I don't know what you're doing. So make sure you got a pen and pencil, because the president of the company usually brings the fire. He's a king of compensation, built our immaculate compensation plan that we're all living off of right now. So I just want to put some fires in the chat, put some ones, put some 4 5s, and put some emojis to make sure we bring the speaker up with some fire. I don't see anything going up. I don't see anything. Come on. All right, there we go. All right, let's bring to the stage Mr. JC Rangel. You can take the mic whenever you're ready.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much, Chris. I appreciate that. And I'm actually here at our corporate office, and we've got the founders here. We've got Mr. Pacheco right here. Say hello. And we've got Mrs. Pacheco as well. We've got Mr. Navarro as well. And we actually have some very special corporate meeting happening tomorrow. So we've got our VP of Sales, Mr. Sam Bean, going to be flying in as well. We've got Mr. Fabian Tenorio coming in, and Mr. Donnie Pips is going to be here tomorrow as well. I see he just joined the group as well. He's going to be flying in tomorrow. So some very, very exciting things are happening at BYLD, and we're working late, right? So we had a meeting here since 3 o'clock. I said to them, you guys continue your meeting. I'm up for the Millionaire Mentor Zoom. So here we are. So we're working around the clock to build something very, very special, as you guys already know. So it's always good to see you guys. And by the way, I am convinced that we have the best looking people in the network marketing industry. Look at you guys, right? Unfortunately, a lot of you guys don't have your cameras up, so I can't see you, right? So if you are able to turn your camera on, go ahead and turn your camera on, and let's get it going. As you guys can see, I'm actually here at the corporate office. We have a podcast room, okay? So in the podcast room, it's a little bit darker, right? We've got the special lights and whatnot, but those are pointing in a different direction. So anyways, my lighting is not all that great. But and once I get this training started, I'm going to go ahead and turn off my camera. But I'd love to see you guys, okay? So I'm going to share my screen. And today, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be sharing with you guys a personal development training, right? I believe that, Jim Rohn said that seldom will your income exceed your personal development, right? Seldom will your income exceed your personal development. So it's very, very important. So in the training that I'm going to cover today, it covers a lot of personal growth, some of the best personal development tidbits that I have learned from a lot of the books and a lot of the audios that I have learned. So it's got some Jim Rohn trainings. It's got some Jeff Olson trainings. It's got some John Addison trainings. It's got some Think and Grow Rich trainings. So some of the best things that I believe that apply to our industry. And I would encourage you to take copious notes. I would encourage you to learn with the intent to teach. Learn with the intent to teach. Imagine if your job right now is to learn this information the best that you can, to go into another room to teach your team this very information, and the way that you deliver and train this information will determine the success that they're going to have. I would highly encourage you, if you're already going to spend the day here, ladies and gentlemen, if you're already going to spend this next 30 minutes to an hour with me here today, get the most out of it, right? So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's take copious notes, learn with the intent to teach, and let's get this training started. So we're going to be talking about personal development. This is a personal development training. That's really what network marketing is. I truly believe that network marketing, ladies and gentlemen, is a personal development vehicle with a compensation plan. I believe that this industry is a personal development vehicle with a compensation plan. I was told by a mentor a long time ago, he says, if you spend 10 years in the network marketing industry with a good company, and you get the mentorship, and you embrace the process, you embrace the trainings, he says, even if you didn't make a dime over the course of those 10 years, what the person that you became over those 10 years would be worth every penny and every minute spent in that industry. And I got to tell you, the network marketing industry for me has been life-changing. The person I've become because of what I've learned in this incredible industry has been amazing. So I'm excited to share that with you. So let's start off with an oldie but a goodie. Mr. Jim Rohn, one of the godfathers of personal development and one of the godfathers of trainings inside of our incredible industry. He says, if you want to be wealthy, learn this lesson well. Learn to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Skills make labor more valuable. I love that. Here's another Jim Rohn. Seldom will your income exceed your personal development. I covered that earlier today. And that is so true. Think of what that means. Let's think for a second what that means. Rarely will you see somebody make more money consistently, because anybody could have a good month, one good year, maybe two. But rarely will you see somebody's income exceed their level of personal growth. You just don't see it. Listen, I am a testament to this. There were times before my personal development, my skills, my accountability to myself and my team, my discipline, my consistency, my communication skills, my confidence were not up to par, but I had a great year. But the next year, guess what? It came right back down. So in other words, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to put it in a simple way for you, in a simple terms for you. Your personal development is like your thermostat. Let's say you have your home's thermostat set at 70 degrees. Let's say the window opens. You open up all the windows. It starts getting hotter in the summer, right? Guess what's going to happen with the AC system? The AC system is going to kick in and it's going to start to cool down the room because you opened up the windows on a summer day, right? So it got hot, but eventually the AC system says, whoa, it's not 70. It's now 72. It's now 73. Let's pump the AC even more to get it back down to our thermostat, what our thermostat is set to, which is 70 degrees. Just like the thermostat works, we, write this down, we have an income thermostat. We have an income thermostat. Some people's income thermostat is set to $70,000 a year. Some people's is set to $50,000 a year. Some people's is set to $250,000 a year, and so on and so forth, right? So here's what happens. Somebody could have a thermostat set to 80, but they make 100 one year. Eventually, their thermostat is going to get them back down to where their thermostat is set to 80. Because maybe they got to 80 because the market conditions were better, but they were not better. Their presentation skills weren't better. Their discipline wasn't better. They didn't wake up earlier. They didn't do the work. They didn't invest in themselves. So it comes back down to your thermostat. So personal development, ladies and gentlemen, is what grows your income thermostat. That's what it means when it says here, seldom will your income exceed your personal development. By the way, I'm going to share some oldie classics. Write this down. Jim Rohn, if you haven't listened to this at least 10 times, you should. Building Your Network Marketing Business by Jim Rohn. You can find it on YouTube. I just gave you guys a gem, by the way. I literally gave you a gem. Building Your Network Marketing Business by Jim Rohn. By the way, if I'm not mistaken, somebody could confirm for me, it is in the BYLD resource document under recommended audios. I believe that is one, and if it's not, I got to add it, but I believe it's one. If somebody could put in the chat and confirm with me that it is indeed there, that'd be great. Building Your Network Marketing Business by Jim Rohn. Okay, that is a gem. I recommend that you listen to that 10 times before the year is up. Let's keep going. So the question is this, in personal development, who have you been listening to? The question is, do they have the results that you have? Because we've all been listening to somebody, right? Most of us, who do we listen to? We listen to our parents, which we should, right? When we were young. We listen to our teachers, right? We listen to our classmates. We listen to our family members. And that's cool. There's a place for that. But the question is this, most people's philosophies come from who they learn from, their teachers, their parents, the people around them, right? But see, I don't know about you, but I grew up in an environment where I was told, hey, money doesn't grow on trees. How many of you guys ever heard that? Am I the only one that was told money doesn't grow on trees? What kind of philosophy? Here's the interaction coming in. What kind of do you think that's creating philosophies of success or lack of success? Is that creating an abundance mindset or a scarcity mindset? Interact with me. Let's hear. Lack. Yes, money doesn't grow on trees. I'm going to give you the answer. You're right. Money doesn't grow on trees. Where does money grow? Question. Where does money grow, ladies and gentlemen? I like where you guys are going. Ooh, Ignacio. Here's what I learned, ladies and gentlemen, in other people's pockets. Money grows in other people's pockets. And if you are able to provide a service to people that is of equal or greater value than the money that they have, they will part ways with the money to buy from you. Money grows in other people's pockets. So when we become more valuable and we bring more value to the marketplace because of our skills, because of our offering, because of our opportunity, people will part with their hard-earned money because you provide equal or greater value. And it's not just your company, it is you. See, some people will join somebody because they know that that person is going to the top. They believe that you can indeed take them to the promised land. And write this down. I'm going to give you a golden nugget. If you ever heard money talks, money doesn't talk, but it sure does listen. And it is very obedient. And if you call it, it will come. Money doesn't talk, but it does listen. And if you call it, it'll come. The problem is that most people don't speak the language of money. Simple little things like the thoughts that I let linger in my mind, the doubts that I let linger in my mind. Listen to this. You will perform how you see yourself. You will perform how you view yourself. The identity that you have of yourself will be how you perform and how you carry yourself. If you have the mindset of, I am a winner, I deserve to win. In this conversation with my friend Gabby, I am going to bless her with this opportunity. Whether she takes the blessing or she doesn't take the blessing is between her and the creator, and I'm okay with it. But her life will enhance because of me approaching her. It's not a cockiness. There's a difference between being cocky and being confident. I've prepared myself. I've paid the dues on those trainings every Monday from different people that earn 7 figures. I've learned and applied, and therefore I've gotten results. Therefore, it is inevitable. It is a matter of time that I get to the place that I want to get to, and I can show her because I've been taught by people that are there and have been there. So when I talk to her, and I believe that about myself, that it is my identity. Write that down. My identity. What is your identity? Some of us, ladies and gentlemen, have an identity that's a positive one, and some of us have an identity that's a negative one. That's everybody. Some people have an identity that is a lot more positive than negative. Most people, whether conscious or unconscious, ladies and gentlemen, most people have an identity negative. Meaning, yes, I know that I'm a procrastinator. If they really ask themselves, they know I procrastinate. I'm inconsistent. I'm not as motivated as I would like to be. I lack the skills. I lack the commitment, or whatever the case may be. That is an identity that you have of yourself. There's some people, including myself in the past, that would not bet on themselves to be successful, to show up on time, to show up consistently. That was me back in the days. Then I started surrounding myself. Write this down, proximity. Proximity. Proximity is a word that most 6- and 7-figure earners are very aware of its importance. I know that what our parents said to us when we were kids. I want you to put a number 1 in the chat if you can relate. Have you ever heard, were you ever told as a kid, birds of a feather flock together? In Spanish, for the Spanish speaking folks, dime con quién te juntas y te digo quién eres. That translates to tell me who you hang out with and I'll tell you who you are. It is true. Your parents, see, maybe we didn't like our parents when they said that to us. Oh, but I remember my mom would tell me, that kid, you got to be careful with that kid. I don't trust him. Something about him. Every time she was right. That's my personal experience. Mama was right. I tell her now, Mom, you were right. I'm a parent now. I understand. As a kid, we didn't understand. But see, now as adults, we do understand. But guess what? We are listening very often. Some people you approach about the business, you know you've got a great opportunity, and then they say, oh, I talked to my cousin, I talked to my friend, I talked to my neighbor, and they told me that this is one of those pyramid things. Let me ask you something. Does that person, this is a good rebuttal. Let me ask you something, Johnny. That person that gave you that advice, are they where you would like to be one day? Are they an expert in this field? Would you trade places with them financially? Because I was taught by my mentors to listen to people that have what you want, that have the lifestyle and the fulfillment that you want. Do they have the lifestyle fulfillment that you want? Well, no, they don't. Well, in my opinion, with all due respect, can I be honest with you? Can I be honest with you? Yes, with all due respect, that's not the right person you should be listening to. I could introduce you to somebody that is my mentor that has made 7 figures or 6 figures, whatever the number is, that they could give you their perspective. Normally, they would charge a lot of money to give you their perspective, but I could probably get them on the phone with you to answer your questions. If you have doubts, which you clearly do, I can get them on the phone to answer your questions. But here's one thing that I'm learning from my millionaire mentors, from my 6-figure and 7-figure mentors. Don't take advice from anybody that you wouldn't trade places with. Notice a posture. You know why I have that posture? Because I believe I have that posture. Because it is my identity that I have that posture. Because I can't help what happens when I'm in the proximity of winners. Write this down. Winners do what winners do. And winners put themselves in the proximity of other winners, even if it's through here. Winners don't spend time with non-winners. Winners drastically limit the amount of time they spend with people that aren't winning. They stay away from still people. You know what still people are? Still complaining. Still can't afford to pay the rent. Still have too much money at the end of the money. Still broke. Stay away from still people. Instead, put yourself in the proximity of winners. And guess what? We do this every Monday. You cannot be on trainings like this for a year straight, taking notes, with learning with the intent to teach and not get better. Don't seek advice from Jules from a bricklayer, from the richest man in Babylon. Woo! That's a phenomenal book, by the way. That is a phenomenal book. Another one is no, that's a book. That's a book that I was thinking. I think I read that book in a day. I went to a course, paid $300 to go to a 2-day course, and they told us on day 1, don't come back tomorrow until you read this book tonight. I went to Barnes & Noble back then, bought that book, went home, read the whole book that night, went back. You know why? Because I have the identity of I'm a winner. Winners do what winners do. Would a winner read this book tonight? Yes. That's what separates me from other people. That's why I will deserve to win, because I am willing to do what other people are not willing to do. That is my identity. When your identity starts to increase, starts to grow, so will your income. Again, do they live the life you desire? Would you trade places with them? Let's keep going. We're on the second slide. I hope you guys are getting some value. So here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen. A study was done many years ago, like 30 years ago. And they followed a group of 100 people these were all college graduates. They followed this group of 100 people to the age of 65. They wanted to do a study. How many would end up wealthy? How many would end up financially stable? How many would end up still working? How many would end up dead? and how many would end up dead broke. So a certain percentage, college graduates, by the way, educated people. If you've never heard this before, I'm going to ask you to participate. If you already saw this training before, do not participate. Only for those that have not participated, here's a question to you. What percentage of these 100 people that graduated from college ended up wealthy? What percentage? Patricia says 1. JD says 5. Crystal says 5. Thomas says none. 2%, 3%, 3, 1. Okay, good. You guys were all pretty close. I'm going to share with you what those numbers are. 100 college graduates were followed until the age of 65. Here's what they discovered. These were the numbers. 1% ended up wealthy. 4% ended up financially stable. 5% still working. The 28% dead, can't do anything about it. When it's our time, right? And then dead broke, 62%. Right? I've heard many, many times, and I believe it. It makes a lot of sense that when people are in their deathbed, they're not complaining so much about the mistakes that they made, but the chances that they didn't take, the people that didn't spend enough time with, love enough, etc. But one of the big ones was the chances that they did not take. When I saw that, I said, wow, I want to be wealthy. And if 100 college graduates, 1% ended up wealthy, that's not a good number. But then I started to learn, hey, who ends up wealthy? Entrepreneurs, sales. Sales is the highest paid profession, right? Entrepreneurship. We've got all of that here. So let's keep going. Personal development tip, don't major in minors. Okay, I'm going to get into what minors are. Winners don't major in minors. Winners major in majors. Have you ever met a busy broke person? Most of the time, they're putting their energy in the wrong place. They major in minors. What are the minors, ladies and gentlemen? These are the NMMA, non-money making activities. Here's what it applies to in our business. Waiting for other people to do things for you. Designing flyers. You shouldn't be designing flyers in the middle of the day. You know what we should be doing? Follow-up calls, prospecting people, promoting an event, doing three-way calls, scrolling social media. That's a big one. That is the people's resort to boredom, scrolling social media. This is majoring in minors. Complaining. You ever find yourself complaining? That's majoring in minors. Now, don't get me wrong. Are there things to complain about at times? Of course. But you know what winners do a lot less than people that don't win? They do a lot less complaining and a lot more accountability. Focusing on the problems. Here's a big one. Gossiping. You want to focus on production, not politics, meaning gossip. Focus on production instead of gossiping. Wasting time or not focusing on your 8 points. We've got a solution for that. I want to major in majors, JC. How do I do it? Here's a simple one. Generate 8 points for the day. That basically guarantees that you're majoring in majors. Let me give you the breakdown of majors. Majors are the MMA, money-making activities, also known as IPA, right? Income-producing activities. Number 1, prospecting. Three-way calls. Prospecting your warm market and your core market. Cold calling, if you're calling realtors. Fill your calendar with majors. If you only have an hour a day, you should know what you're going to do in that hour. Don't get into the hour trying to wing the day. And then you'll develop a system as you start to go. You'll get in the groove of things, right? Presenting, following up with prospects, setting appointments, networking. 5 M's, more meetings mean more money. Three-way calls, sending videos, doing launch events, game plan interviews, cold calling, 8-point system. I'm going to keep it simple for you guys. Generate 8 points through our 8-point system. If you don't know what the 8-point system is, it should be in the build resource guide or somebody put it in the WhatsApp chat. Okay? Winners major in majors. Losers major in minors. Make a decision. Do I want to major in majors or do I want to go and major in minors? See, let me go back. Oh, looks like my screen is frozen. 1 second, guys. Let me reshare my screen. Okay, so these are the minors. And these are the majors. Ladies and gentlemen, here's what's going to happen. 1 year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now. Okay? Write this down. Another golden nugget I'm going to give you. This is one of my favorite quotes more than 20 years ago. A gentleman by the name of Jeff Olson taught me this. Time will either promote you or expose you. Ooh, that's a bombshell. Time is either going to promote you or expose you. There's a quote by Joe Frazier, former heavyweight champ many years ago. He says, champions are not made in the ring. They're merely recognized in the ring. Champions are made in the dark of the night. When they're running at 4 a.m, when they're working out when other people are not working out. He says, because when it comes down to the fight, you're down to your reflexes. He says, but it's hard to wake up when you're sleeping in silk sheets, right? When people get too comfortable, when people get there. So you got to stay hungry. So time will either promote me or expose me. Time will either promote you or expose you. So 2 years down the line, 1 year down the line, 3 years down the line, will you be a Builder 8000? Will you be an executive with the company, executive 15, executive 25? Maybe your goal is Builder 3500. That's fine. But here's what's going to happen, right? As time goes on, you're going to see, lately, we've been seeing a bunch of people rank up. Congratulations, all of you. And there's a lot of you guys that are going to rank up again this month. I see the numbers, right? And then there's going to be some people say, wow, this person got started a lot after me, but they're a lot further than me. Chances are they probably majored in majors more than you did. They probably generated 8 points more than you did. Chances are they probably started to work on their identity and believed when they heard you will show up how you see yourself. And they took it to heart. Maybe when they got on trainings, they got on more trainings, more consistently, and they learned with the intent to teach versus other people. Let's keep going. It's one of my favorite ones that I learned. Be, do, have. Who am I and what is important to me? Do what? Do, meaning what are the actions? And then have. So here's how it works, ladies and gentlemen. Most people want it backwards. Most people want to have the thing, then they'll do the activity and act and be like the person. In this world, here's how it goes. It works be, do, have. In this universe, it is be, do, have. Let me explain. Some people may say, you know, JC, or you know what, Mr. Bean, or you know what, Mr. Tim Neal, Mr. Navarro, Mr. Pacheco. You know, if I had your confidence, if I had your money, if I had your position, I would do all those things I need to do. I'd have the confidence to do those things. I'd have the motivation to do those things. So therefore, I would be like you. Most people want to do it backwards. You got to go to another universe to do that, because in this universe, ladies and gentlemen, it don't work that way. In this universe, here's the order. You got to be the person now. That version of yourself that has the things, that has a success, that has a title, that has a rank. How would that person be? How would they act? Would they dress sharp? Would they be on training? Would they be motivated? Would they have a great attitude? Would they generate 8 points? Would they be disciplined? You got to be that person now, because if you become that person right now, you will do what that person does. And only by doing what that person does, by doing the activities, will you have the thing. You ever see, oh, I need to see in order to believe? That is a broke mindset. A winner knows I need to first believe, then I will see. So you got to be the person. So I'm going to give you some homework. I want you to write down this homework. This is some personal development homework. And here it is. The homework, ladies and gentlemen, is the following. I want you to write down what are the attributes of the version of you that's making 10 times more money than you currently are. If you make $50,000 a year, What, in your opinion, right? Get in a dark room or a room that's dim, whatever you need to really close your eyes and think. The person if I'm making 50 grand a year, I'm asking myself, what is a version of me making $500,000 a year look like? Meaning, how do they act? How do they talk? How is their confidence level on a scale of 1 to 10? How disciplined are they on a scale of 1 to 10? How consistent are they? How do they handle setbacks on a scale of 1 to 10? Their confidence levels. Are they on trainings? Are they reliable? On a scale of 1 to 10, how is their communication skills? I want you to write down those things. When you write down those things, you need to know this is the person I need to be right now. Because think about this. Here, I'm gonna give you proof that you could do that a lot better than you think you can. Here's a proof. I want you guys to write down on the chat, what are, ladies and gentlemen, what are the attributes? I want you to write down 1 or 2 attributes of the most successful people that you know. Just 1 or 2 word answers. I want you to put in the chat 1 or 2 attributes. Discipline. Givers. They wake up at 5 a.m. Discipline. They're bold. They're consistent. They're disciplined, consistent, determination, confident, hungry. I love, man, you guys are feeding right into the lesson. Humble. They wake up at 4 a.m. Bold, always available. 80-20 rule, inspired. Okay, that's good enough. I got a long enough list. Check this out. Check this out. Write this down in your notes. There are attitudes and there are actions. There are skills and attitudes. On one side of the paper, you've got skills. The other side of the paper, you've got attitude. Most people think that what it takes to be a winner, what it takes to succeed is skills. Yet when you ask the question, it's attitude that shines. Watch. Discipline. That is an attitude and a skill. You can decide today to stop hitting the doggone alarm clock. It is way more of an attitude than it is a skill. It is a decision. They're givers. You decide to give. It's not a skill to give. It's a decision to give. Waking up at 5 in the morning. That's a decision. That is an attitude. Okay? Discipline. I would consider discipline both a skill and an attitude. They are bold. That is an attitude. They are consistent. I would consider that both a discipline more. First, it's a attitude. Second, it is because you started. If you're not consistent and you start being consistent, it starts with a decision to take the action and be consistent. Then over time, it becomes a skill because you are consistent with it, right? It develops into a skill, but it starts as an attitude. Look at that, discipline. Again, do you guys see what I'm saying? It proves a point. They're dedicated. Ladies and gentlemen, that is an attitude. I'm dedicated to my wife. I love my wife. That is my life partner till the day they drop the coffin. Okay, that is a decision. I am dedicated to that woman. I am dedicated to those kids. In my business, I'm dedicated to build and I'm dedicated to you. That is a decision. It is an action. There's skills, right? And attitudes. So if you notice, if you ask people, oh, they think, you know what it is? They think, hey, listen, I need all these skills because I don't have the skills. It's because I don't have the experience. Success, ladies and gentlemen, starts with your attitude. There's an old phrase, your attitude determines your altitude. One more note before we move on. Write this down. There are 2 reasons why people don't achieve what they want to achieve. There are 2 reasons. If we want to sum it down, we want to keep it simple, I'm going to give you, it's 2 reasons. Number 1, they're not doing something right. Or number 2, they're not doing something often enough. And you need both of them. And you need discipline to apply them, right? It comes down to discipline. If I'm disciplined, I will do the right actions and I will do them long enough, but it is not enough to just have one. I can't just go with a great attitude, prospecting people with the tools and the scripts that are taught to me one day out of the week. That's not enough. Even though I'm doing the right actions for the day, I don't have enough consistency. Now, what if I do the wrong things 7 days a week, 30 days a month, but I'm doing it wrong? I'm prospecting with the wrong tools. I'm talking too much. That's not good enough either. So you're either not doing something right or you're not doing something often enough. Discipline will get you to learn the stuff. So I'm not there yet, but I need to keep attending training. I need to keep attending training, sharpening my axe. I need to be the person. Then do the stuff that person does, and only then will I have the things. Okay, let's keep going. So here's a motivation pyramid. You want to ask yourself, ladies and gentlemen, where you fall on this pyramid. 27% of people are not motivated. None of you are a 27%er. You wouldn't even be a part of the company. The 27%ers are people that complain, people that are pessimistic, people that don't have any motivation. They would not even attend. They wouldn't even be a part of this company. It is very rare to get a 27%er. Now, you will find a lot of 27%ers in your prospecting list, approximately 27%. Well, some of you guys, it may be more, right? Depends on our network. Some of you guys may have less. 60% of the population are motivatable. They can be motivated. That's the largest portion. Think about it. So from time to time, you're going to fall into a 27%er. I'll show you what that looks like. You approach them about the business. Oh, man, it's one of those pyramid things. Oh, bro, no way. My aunt did Amway in 1984 and failed. What makes you think you're going to be successful in 2025? Super negative people. Here's I'm going to tell you how to deal with them. You spend zero time with them. You identify them, you thank them for their opinion, and you move on, and you don't go back. That's no man's land. You identify a 27%er, you identify the direction to run in, which is in the opposite direction. You spend no time, and you do not, as a winner, you do not let that negativity affect you. Because winners impact their environment more so than being impacted by their environment. Winners guard their thoughts. Winners think about what they're thinking about, because most people's self-talk is negative. I'm giving you guys $1 million worth of game here, man. Winners in sports and in business. I won a world title in karate. I've made millions of dollars in business, multiple industries. I don't say that to brag. I promise you, and I think most of you guys know me by now. That's not why I'm saying it. The things that it takes to win in sports and the things that it takes to win in business are very similar. Most people's self-talk is negative. They say over 90% of people's thoughts are negative. I don't have enough money. I don't know I'm going to pay the bills. I'm to this, I'm to that. I'm not enough this, not enough that. Scratch that. Winners know how to think about what they're thinking about. And it's not that negative thoughts don't enter the mind. It's that winners don't let those thoughts linger. Winners understand that, hey, listen, that's not real. That's not true. Yet sometimes things may look bleak, but it is temporary. Every one of us has had times that look bleak, and eventually they didn't turn out to be as bad as we thought they were. I'm not saying that we haven't had really bad times. I'm saying that, as the saying says, 95% of the things people worry about don't ever come to pass. 95% of the things people worry about don't ever come to pass. So you're going to run into 60%ers. These people can be motivated. And you know how you can motivate them to take a look at the information? How you can motivate them to get started with your opportunity? By the person you become. The more confident you are, the more sure of your business you are, the more you are a product of the product. If I'm a product of the product, I'm using the trading services and they're working, I'm on the trainings, I see people making money, I've got the evidence. I've got the confidence. I am a product of the product. I have the home security system. I have the solar or the water or the internet, whatever the case may be. I know that we do represent these companies. I know we've got an incredible opportunity, or you've been paid. I know there's money to be made here. So now you're able to convert those 60 percenters into customers or business builders. Then you got 10% of the population. These are the self-motivated people. Listen, man, you get you 5 10 percenters on the left team, 5 10 percenters on the right team, and it's a wrap. And they don't have to be 10, 5 and 5 that you brought. You could have brought a dud who 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 brought a stud 10 percenter. You plug them into the system. Now it's not about you. It's about the system and their opportunity that's available for them. They can say, hey, listen, if you're not going, it's okay. I'll see you at the top or from the top, but I will go to the top. So I'll either see you there or I'll see you from there. Because these 10 percenters, you don't have to remind them about getting on the Millionaire Mentor call. The name alone motivates them. Right? The vision alone motivates them. That's the self-motivated people. Then you got 3 percenters. These are the ones that go and earn 7 figures. Multiple 6 figures and 7 figures. These are the motivators. These are the ones that not only can you count on them to be on, you could count on them to be on with as many people as possible from their team, prospects. They get other people into action. Ladies and gentlemen, there's in this room, there's 100 people exactly. There's more than likely, there's 3 motivators. 10 of y'all are self-motivated. The other 60 are motivatable. You're motivated today and you'll lose motivation by Friday because of the no's you're going to get. But then you get back on Monday, you get back on the horse. And that's okay. I've been there. You want to focus on going, ladies and gentlemen, from the 60% bracket to the 10% bracket, fast, quick, and in a hurry. You need to go from the 60% bracket to the 10% bracket, fast, quick, and in a hurry. Stop having so many starts and stops. Stop dwelling on negative thoughts. Focus on put one foot in front of the other. Put one foot in front of the other. And then you go from the 10% to the 3%. Have a resolve. It's not over until I win. It's not over until I'm an executive. I don't care how long it takes. This business is a sprint, a relay, and a marathon. It's a sprint. Get off the blocks fast. Hit the superstar bonus. 2 recruits, 5 customer points. If you don't know what that means, you need to go into the Fast Start training, buildfaststart.com, and look at what it is. That is designed for the sprint. The relay is a duplication. That's where you duplicate other people to rank up. You duplicate other people to make money. You duplicate other people to follow the 8 points. And then the marathon. The marathon this is a long-term vision. It takes a long-term vision to win. Let's keep going. Here's the attitude roller coaster and how you can avoid it. Number 1, don't let your lows get too low and don't let your highs get too high. There will be some bad days. There will be people that quit. There will be people that tell you, I'm going to be on tomorrow's business opportunity presentation. On the business showcase tomorrow, I'll be on. You get on, they're not on. Then they ghost you, as the kids say. Right? And then here's what you need to say. Well, I guess that's one of those that ghosts you. The president of the company told me I was going to find some of those. Guess what you need to do? You need to find 100 of those. Go through 100 of those that saw the opportunity and ghosted you. I guarantee you're going to be at a better rank than you are right now. Guaranteed. There's no way you cannot. You're going to get better every time. Your follow-up comes in the beginning where, hey, man, just following up. Hey, can you call me back? Hey, to where it's different, right? Hey, I saw that you didn't get on the call. Let me know when you got some time to chat. Then you give them the proper time. Then you follow up with more posture. Then you send them a meme, right? Your confidence is just different. I told a story on the sales meeting this morning. I'm going to share it with you guys. I had a prospect that I met. He saw me with my Solar Heroes shirt, and he asked me if I did solar. Long story short, says he wanted solar. We exchanged contact information. The next, I followed up with him for weeks. He kept ghosting me for weeks. Probably a month or 2 passed, and I sent him a meme. I found a meme of a cat in a suit. It was a cat in a suit reading a newspaper with a think bubble that said, I need to go solar soon. I sent him this message out of the blue. I hadn't followed up with him in about 5 days or something, 7 days. I sent him the meme and I write, hey, Luther, I passed by your office today, but you look busy, but I took a picture of you. Here you go. I hope you have a very productive day. Smiley face. Mind you, he hadn't answered me in months. Text me back. Hey, JC, that was a good one. Let me know when you've got some time to talk about my solar. Guess what? It's experience. But I made a decision a long time ago. I'm in it to win it. I don't care how long it takes. And the more no's I get, the better I'm going to get. I decided to become a professional. I made a decision. It's a wrap. I'm going to become a professional. Next one is have long-term vision or goals. Next one, manage your expectations. Maintain your composure. If you don't have guests, you need the meeting. If you do have guests, the meeting needs you. No matter what, you show up to the presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, they're done via Zoom these days. When I came up in this industry, they were in person. There was no Zoom. We paid $7 to $11 to get in every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. I drove to downtown Los Angeles, 5 minutes away from the LAX airport. 40 minutes, 30 to 40 minutes. Okay? To pay whether I had a guest or not. Sometimes I would go and I was doing the network marketing salute outside. My prospect told me he's going to show up. I just showed up and I'm out there. There was literally times where I was building my business that I didn't have the $7 or $11, depends on what meeting I went to get in. And I texted my prospect, yeah, I'm in here, I'm in the restroom, or I'm in here, I'm in the back, have a seat, I'll talk to you afterwards. Because after the meeting was done, they weren't charging anymore. So then I would go in and pretend like I was inside the meeting the whole time because I couldn't afford to get in the doggone meeting. But you know what I was saying? One day I'm going to be a millionaire in this business, and this is going to be a really cool story. Back then, I was saying I'm going to retire my mom because of this. Guess what? That was when I was in my early 20s. At 29, I retired my mom. But I saw people to my left and people to my right fall and quit because they didn't have the resolve. They didn't make a decision. They kept having, and don't get me wrong, I had starts and stops until I stopped having so many doggone starts and stops. Because would Michael Jordan have starts and stops like I do? No, he wouldn't. So if I want to be the doggone Michael Jordan of this business, I should probably start having so many doggone starts and stops because things get uncomfortable. And guess what? Reading the books, learning these lessons helped me change my identity. Then I didn't have to force myself. I did them on automatic. Here's what happens with your skills. You go from unconsciously unskilled, unconsciously unskilled. That's where you don't know what you don't know. It's also known as unconsciously incompetent. Sounds nicer to say unskilled, right? Everybody goes through these stages. First, you go through unconscious incompetence. To the next one is consciously incompetent or unskilled. That's where you know what you don't know. That's when you realize, oh, cool, I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to wrap this up like a burrito. So Mr. Pacheco has the update call, so I'm going to wrap this up. So you go from unconsciously unskilled to consciously unskilled. Now you know, you are aware of where you're lacking. The next phase is consciously skilled. Now you know how to do the thing, but you got to think about it. It's not unconscious. Then the fourth stage is consciously skilled. That's where you know how to do the thing and it's done through habit. You don't have to think about it. Imagine when you get here with your prospecting. Imagine when you get here with your follow-ups. Imagine when you get here with your self-confidence, with your presentation skills, with your consistency and discipline. But most people don't get there. To me, ladies and gentlemen, this helped me out when I got here for the first time. It helped me out tremendously. So the last one I'm going to finish up is this. Everything starts with your philosophy. Winner philosophies lead to a winner attitude. A winner attitude leads to winner actions. Winner actions lead to winner results. The winner results lead to a winner's lifestyle. But you've got to have the philosophies of a winner. On another training, I'm going to get into the philosophies of winners. But I covered the philosophies of winners in the Bulletproof Mindset training that's available to everybody in their back office. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys got value from this training. Go ahead and share in the WhatsApp chat what you learned from this training. And I hope you guys were taking notes. with that being said, since it's already the top of the hour, and we've got Mr. My mentor, one of my mentors on here, Mr. Daniel Pacheco. Let's go ahead and stop recording this one so we can start a new recording. If somebody can help me with that, that'd be great. I got it right here. So we've got Mr. Daniel Pacheco, ladies and gentlemen. This gentleman is not only a friend, but he's a mentor of mine. I learned a whole lot of things when it comes to business and life from this gentleman. And I call him my big brother. You know, I'm the oldest of 3 kids, and I never had a big brother myself personally. But this gentleman is like a big brother. Frankly, Mr. Navarro is too, even though he's a little bit younger than me. But Daniel, I've learned a lot from him, and he's one of the co-founders of this company. Him and his wife are mentors of mine, and I'm so incredibly grateful for them. One of the best builders, one of the best trainers, one of the funniest people that I know, but probably more important, one of the people with the biggest heart that I've ever met. And I've experienced that personally. I've seen it, how he treats other people and how he's helped and blessed other people, but I've personally experienced it for myself, right? And I'm so incredibly grateful to call him a friend and to call him now a business partner. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Daniel Pacheco, do we have you on the line? If you are on mute because I can't hear you.
Recording in progress.
Sure, he's getting on right now. Somebody put Builder Bear. That's right. That's what he goes by. Mr. Pacheco, doing a mic check, seeing if you are there. Oh, I see you, Roxy. Is that Daniel right there, the Builder Bear?
It was a gift from him, so I'm gonna say
There you go. That's a fitting gift. That makes a lot of sense. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna check. I know that he's in the other room. He's probably getting on. He's probably getting on right now. So give me 1 second, guys. Okay, Mr. Pacheco's getting set up right now. So in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to put in the chat something that you learned from the training that we just got here. We're not going to unmute because as soon as he gets on, we're gonna go ahead and get this meeting started. But we've got some important updates and some exciting things that are happening. As I mentioned, we've got some very important people coming in tomorrow for a very important meeting that has to do especially with the trading aspect of the business, but also some other areas of the business. So, but in the meantime, give me 1 or 2 nuggets that you guys received from the training. Put it in the chat. And I'm sure that Mr. Pacheco is going to chime in here shortly. Okay, perfect. Let's see. Don't major in minors. Love that. Time will either promote you or expose you. That's one of my favorite, one of my all-time favorites, Daniela. Okay, perfect. I want to do a mic check. Let's see if we've got Mr. Pacheco on the line. Unless he's unable to unmute. 1 second.
I'm good now.
There you go. There you go. You're good to go. The floor is yours, sir.
Awesome. Hi, everybody. How you doing? This is Danny Pacheco, and you have been trained by the very, very best. Every time I hear Mr. Rangel, I am learning. He is an amazing trainer, and so we're very grateful for his knowledge, his experience, and everything that he does for the organization. So, give me 1 second. 1 second, please, and we're gonna get started. Let's see here. 2 seconds here. Okay. And whoever has a host settings, I'm going to need to log on here with a different account. So let me in, whoever is manning it, or make me co-host.
You are co-host already.
Okay, great. So the only challenge is that I am on a device that I'm normally not on. So it's a little bit difficult here to know. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to make, whoops. 1 second, please. So both positions are already co-host, right? Okay.
Yes.
All right, good. So I am going to share my screen. Give me just a sec here, guys. Okay. So we want to do an Omni update, and one of the things that we want to talk about are some of the questions that have popped up. I was looking at some of these questions that some of the users had, and so wanted to make sure that we